want some of these? I know you want some. Okay, make sure you stick around to the end of this video because I'm going to take you step by step on how to prepare this super delicious and healthy stew. Okay, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so and hit that bell icon. Select all so that you get notified every time I post a new. So for today's recipe, I'm going to use these fresh tomatoes. I'm going to use all of them, yes, because I'm going to cook it in a large pot. So I prefer these fresh tomatoes compared to the canned one because this one is a healthier option, and when I use this one, I'll be able to cook it till the sour taste is completely gone as compared to the canned one, which you just fry for some minutes, but then you still get that sour taste. So the fresh tomatoes is a preferred option. Okay, I have Knorr cubes, curry powder, some thyme leaves, all seasoning, all-purpose seasoning, some bay leaves, black pepper. So what I did here was that I had washed my meat and I put my oxtail and my cow foot inside this pot and added sliced onions, 3 Knorr cubes, some salt, a teaspoon of salt, added red habanero pepper. What I did, I blended the pepper with water and then I poured that water in here. So what I'm doing now is that I'm turning it, stirring to mix everything well. Here is my snails. I washed them. They are really big. I got them at the African store here. Oh God, I just couldn't wait to take it home because I remember back in those days that we used to get in the bush and go for snail hunting, but now everybody is grown. Nobody wants to do that anymore. Okay, so and here is my gizzard. I washed it properly. What I'm going to do now is that I'm going to pour it into that pot so that it can cook along with the other meat that is cooking. And I'm also going to pour my snail into my pot so that everything can be really fully cooked. Okay, I'm adding some more salt to the snail and the gizzard, and by doing this, that means I'm not going to add any more salt to my sauce because you don't want your stew to be too salty. You have to watch that. Okay, and I'm turning it to stirring it to make sure everything mixes well. Just take your time and do it. Don't be in a hurry. Okay, mix it, let everything get incorporated. So I'm going to leave it I'm going to cover my pot and let it cook for like 10 minutes. So after cooking for 10 minutes, this is what it looks like. As you can see, my water is almost completely dry. So I'll stir my meat, and what I'm going to do next is that I'm going to add some more water to my meat, and then I'm going to cover my pot and let it cook till it's dry. Till the meat is done, it's soft. So if your meat is not soft after this water, keep adding some water, like repeat the process till your meat is soft. So back to our tomatoes. What I did was that I blended my tomatoes. I did not add any water while blending it, just the tomatoes. I cut it up and then I put them in my blender and blended it, and then pour it into this big pot. You have to use a bigger pot that will give it space, to boil out or to boil. Otherwise, if you use a smaller pot, while the thing is boiling, it might pour on your stove. So you have to use a bigger pot that will give it enough room to boil. So this is it. So I'm going to leave it to cook for some minutes, then I'll show you. You see, this is it. You want it to boil like this and leave it like this to boil till the water is completely dry. So you can see that our tomato is forming a paste already. You can see the paste. This is what you want, but you have to boil it. Let the water at the bottom be completely dry. So let's do that, and then I'll show you the finished look. So this is the finished result of the tomato paste that we wanted. So you can see that there's no water at the bottom. It's completely dry. This is what you want. You want just the paste. So we are going to set it aside to fry it. So this is my meat. My meat is done. I just poured it into a big bowl. I'm using extra virgin olive oil, so I'm going to pour my olive oil into my pot on my stove, and I'm going to add some onions, sliced onions, to fry it. So after this step, you're going to add your paste, tomato paste, into your oil while it's still hot. Then you will go ahead and stir it, and make sure you do this process on a low heat or medium low heat, because if you do this process on a high heat, it is much likely that your tomato paste is going to get burned. You don't want that to happen. So cook it on a medium low or low heat, and be there to stir it while you're doing it. Don't do this process and then go sit down, watch TV, or get on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter or chat with anybody. No. So make sure you stand by and stir it, and then cover your pot and let it cook just for some minutes.